That's right, all you cool cats and kittens. That was Pizza and Porn by the one and only Moonborn. Oh man, oh, this coffee is overflowing. I'm not happy about that. Good morning, everybody. How's it going this fine Sunday? Oh my God, it's Sunday. Not only is it Sunday, but we got less sleep last night, which actually I went to bed pretty early, so I think I got more sleep than I normally do. We have a lot going on. We've got our TB. I may have been buying daily deals for the last 2 to 3 weeks for signal data more than anything else, but they just happened to have Ahsoka shards too, which meant I was able to get those done today, which, was nice. Oh, man. Whew. Let's see, what do we got? I have not really done much modding for these guys yet. I have a little bit, obviously. I guess I took them off of their little pedestal. I had some stuff planned, nothing special. I need to actually go through and mod and fix this, but obviously we're not going to do that on the stream because that's boring. Yes, the spend counter was reset. I can't show you the pack because there's only one available. I did a Reddit post about it 2 days ago. That relic pack for $20, and if you bought it for $20, you got a second version of it for $10. I used this fancy Amazon gift card that I had just sitting in my laptop case for the last 3 months. I hate those fucking Amazon Amex gift cards and vanilla gift cards. If you have children and your children have teachers and you ever think to get them an Amex gift card, please don't do it. We fucking hate them. We really do. They have made them so hard to spend in the last couple of years. And actually, shout out to Lady Geek because I did try to buy them directly and EA was not allowing me to. And she was nice enough to use it on Amazon for her own purchases because, we all spend way too much money on Amazon, and send me the 50 to spend myself. So while the spend counter is reset, I didn't spend any of my own money that I was going to spend. Still counts. And it probably will reset again in 2 days because I do intend to buy the episode pass, the next episode pass. I really want to replenish some of the Omicron mats and that good stuff on my account. And I figured what better way? And that'll make up the last $20 on that 50. So let's get into TB today. Let's get this done. We have a lot to do. And I have a full movie day on the docket. I've been using some planes. Animal. I don't even want to know what animal flow is, if we're completely honest. I did sleep in earlier as well. I was tired at 7:30 last night, and I conked out. I don't know. My wife was like, "Are you okay? Are you sick?" The large galactic kit, is that the one with tons of energy in it? Ba-da-da-da-da. This one? Honestly, I don't think it's a terrible deal at all. I did a value chart about 2 years ago, and I value these Omicrons at about $2.92. So that's about $3. That's 5 times 3. That's $15 right here in Omicrons, plus the Zetas. I do not think that this is a terrible deal at all, even if you just need this stuff up here and don't really even care about the Chirotech or the shards. We are aiming for, this time, 42 stars. I have a short-term plan that I'm hoping we will be able to do in the next 3 to 4 TB cycles that should get us to 44 stars. So that is my short-term plan, and there's no rest for the TB officer. If you are not the TB officer in your guild, please reach out to your TB officer, shoot them a personal message, tell them thank you, because it is so much work, the shit that we have to deal with. Da-dun, da-dun, dun. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. See, man, you know, some of the guys in my guild were like, why even bother attacking the TIE fighters? The AoE will just take care of them. It never fucking does for me. It never fucking does. Uh, 42 is our, I don't know what you mean by standard, I don't know if you mean it like standard for me. 42 is our standard right now. We started doing it 3 TBs ago. But I do see the ability for us to get to 44 pretty quickly. The interesting thing is that when you get to this level and you have to deal with preloads, even though we need a ton, like right now today, if we wanted to get 43 today, we would need 6 million combat GP per person, which actually isn't undoable, completely, to be completely honest. You know, this is 1.5 million right here. But because of the way the preload works, every CM point that my guild earns from day 3 all the way to day 6 counts for day 6. So I've isolated a plan to get people there through even just not even having to do R9s at all. Let's get all of, let's get these guys out of the way. I really need to set up a set for Executor for TB because I find myself coming in and doing this constantly because you do want the Houndstooth. Yeah, why aren't we talking about this stupid fucking game? I mean, this lovely game. This amazing, amazing game that we all love. Alright. Man, every Sunday I have pizza and porn stuck in my head. It's just such a great, catchy little jingle. Ba-da, da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da, da-da. Be-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. No, not... Why are they not... Oh, there we go. It's like, why are they not forcing those over there? Okay. Nice. Sundays are for porn. Porn and movies. We're going to see 2 movies today. We're doing another double movie day. I don't remember the name of the first movie. It has Robert Pattinson in it. It seems like a war movie to me. My wife says it's not. Lucky 17 or something like that. And then we're going to see The Monkey, which is a horror movie. So you can see right here, this is 3 million combat GP in 2 CMs, right? So that 6 million is not undoable for the guild if we were to go that route. It just doesn't, it's not necessary to really go that route that way. He definitely designed that song to be a catchy one. We'll have to get, I don't know if you guys heard his other song. He does have a Spotify playlist. He has released this music on Spotify. I think under the name Moonborn. There's one called Fuck You Bones, which is very funny. The Gungies theme song is on there, which is beautiful. It really set the tone for the Gungies. Yeah, and it's on auto. Like, who doesn't love autoing TB? This is the thing that makes me the most happy in this game, is autoing TB. And speaking of the Gungies, we did something kind of cool on Discord. For any of you that, your guild's Discords, if you know of any Discord owners of like your Alliance Discord or smaller content creators might be interested in this. On our Discord now is a Gungies announcement channel, and I've set that up to be publishable. And what that means is that people can go there and they can hit the subscribe button. And now in September, when we release the nominations round, they can get that update right to their Discord so that they know it's there. And we are trying to get some a pretty decent adoption rate with smaller creators, so that next year we can get more of those guys involved without me having to reach out to 50 people, because it is very time consuming. So if you own your guild Discord, look into it. If you own your Alliance Discord, look into it. If you know any smaller creators who next year, again, we're looking to do a lot more with smaller creators, let them know about it. Because yes, we are already in the planning stages for next year. Last year's show we did in 2 months. This year's show we have the entire year to plan. Hey Steiner, good morning. Happy brunch time. Which, I mean, I don't actually ever eat brunch food while we're playing the game. I only ever drink my coffee. But we like to call it brunch because it's Sunday, and that's just how it is. Right, so my guild needs an average of 6 million. It looks like right now, and it's not going to happen. We have too many lazy people, but right now it looks like I will be at 4 million, having just done my fleet battles. Black coffee, of course. In my Egnards mug. Ah. Ugh. We're just blowing through this, man. TB is nothing anymore. TB is like this big joke at this point. All right, we have a lot. Well, actually, we don't have a lot that we can do. I just want to see, because the time change, I have an hour. Okay. That's right. I'm going to have my fleets are going to be at like 10 p.m. today, which is going to be highly annoying. Day 6. Well, I've talked about this before, Mortar Blend here too. If I'm drinking coffee at home, I drink it black. If I have a to-go coffee, I add a splash of milk. And that's just for temperature control. If I'm drinking it at home in a mug, you know, it'll go from burning lava, McDonald's, burn your labia hot, to a drinkable temperature really quickly. But if I'm taking it to work, that could be 45 minutes. And so I'll put a tiny splash of like milk in there just to kind of cool it a little bit. That's actually what she said. I forgot. She's oh, hot. Never change. Please never change. Oof. My shield generator is the informant? Why? That's strange. Ba-da-da-da-da. Hot Odd's always coming in hot with the jokes. He is the joke master. Great joke, just like my D. What? Did we even get all of our ops done today? I don't even know. I'll have to look. Yeah, man, you have a much... I envy people that have good memories because I think of things and then I just completely forget about them. And I've told you, like, people have told me jokes and I go, oh, Hot would love this. And then I completely just forget about them. Let's see, did we finish Vander Platoon? No, why don't we have our Vander Platoons done yet? Who needs to... Who's this? Hunter? Who do I need to yell at on Discord? Discord. TB General. Who has Hunter? Happily. Don't forget to platoon Hunter, please. These fucking people. It's like herding cattle. Alright. What else? Well, no, we tried that last week, right? Doing the battle there. We know that that's not going to work, but we can do Mandalore. And Leia normally works at Mandalore. Let's do it. Oh my god. Blake, you know, it depends on what your roster is doing right now. There are a couple standouts, and I have a few of them. Captain Tarples, to me, is like one of the best TB Omicrons. It allows me to auto up to R9, you know, but with the raid most likely ending soon, getting R9 Gungans doesn't make as much sense. I hate to give Phatphil credit because right now we hate Phatphil and fuck that guy. But he said something really smart on Three Scoundrels last week when it comes to TB Omicrons. You basically want to put a TB Omicron on a team that you would want to bring to R9. Because you want to get maximum use out of that Omicron. Even if it's not right now. Even if it's later on in the game. Even if it's a year from now. So... as much as I think Captain Tarples is one of the best TB Omicrons, it's not really an R9 priority team. However, with the Paw Patrol assault battle, having 3 characters needed at R9, you really only need to bring 2 more characters to R9. So to that effect, it does make sense, and that's why I'm giving him credit. It does make sense to do something like the Enoch Omicron, because there's 3 characters in that team that you pretty much definitively want to bring to R9 anyway. And then Scout Trooper, you're bringing to R7 already for Rebel Officer, for Leia Organa. So it's a team that you're already bringing to High Relics. So I would say Enoch is a really, really solid, smart move if you are doing a TB Omicron. Hot, I appreciate you hopping in, even if it's just to give me a joke. I would say have fun at work, but it's work. You know, we know how work is. All right, we are at 5.2 now, 4.7, about 5.2, 5.3, somewhere around there in TB points. My guild, again, needs about a 6 average to hit the Vandor 43 here. It's not going to happen today. I know it won't happen today, but I just want to make sure I'm on the right track to being able to do that. The Dead Boys. This team doesn't always work here. I'm very well aware of it, Estefano. I actually have it, the Whirlwind Slam. I do think... Someone wrote, "Don't ever change." I love it. I love that we're still making fun of him. I think I want to change this to Enoch. Imperial Remnant. No, but I only have 4 of them. That's why. Because I can't bring... Oh, that's why I have that. Because I only have 4. I love that we're still fucking with him. So, Estefano, I have Whirlwind Slam. I do think it's worth it because it does make that mission more reliable. The Jedi Knight Cal Kestis mission is annoying. It's a pain in the ass. I hate doing it. So I think anything that makes that a little bit more reliable is worth it. I don't think it's a necessary Omicron, though. If you get the modding right and you really do take your time with the mission, you can do pretty well with it. But it's a very strong quality of life TB Omicron for me. You know, and we've talked about this before. For me, TB Omicrons, they're about time saving. They're about making your life easier. They're about not having to worry about something as much. Whereas GAC Omicrons are more about higher reward acquisition. But there's only so many that you can apply of those before you hit your wall anyway. So I'm super pro TB Omicrons at this point in the game. I do like my Kyle Katarn one. It does make some of the Jedi autos pretty reliable. Unfortunately, I'm one of the few people in my guild that have a high-level Katarn, which means that I am often platooning him, and I don't get to use it as much as I used to be able to get to use it. And I would love to R8 Scout right now if I had the fucking relic materials for it. But I don't anymore. I burned through so many relic materials yesterday. And the day before. And the day before that. Just so many. This is my... Blake, this is one of my favorite Rise of the Empire teams. The Mother Talzin... the Mother Talzin Night Sister squad. I love this squad so much. And they're very versatile. So you see, like, this is not the squad I use for them. But now with Vandor, I platoon Old Daka at R9. So that's kind of like a thrown together squad that works maybe 75% of the time. With Old Daka in there and not using the Dead Boys, it is a very, very, very reliable squad to use. I don't know if the Whirlwind Slam one's going to save you time. I think it'll save you headache. But if you're reliably beating it, I would reach out to your guild officer. You know, because I've had situations like that in the past where we've required something and someone's reached out to us and have said, you know, I don't really need this because I like the last 15 events, I have beaten them this mission, blah, blah, blah. And a good officer corps is going to, you know, be receptive or responsive to that. Yeah, man, my Night Sisters are R8 for Haven. Old Daka is R9 because of platoons. Merrin is R9 because that was the deal I made with Arnold if he bought me Merrin originally. So I brought her to R9. But I have them all at R8 because they are just so amazing at everything on in ROT. Tell me about did you finish it? Yeah, Knight, man. I know my relic poverty is probably different than your relic poverty. I'm gonna unfavorite. Like my high relic stuff, I have decent high relic stuff. But then like I have 41 gray signal data. And I'm actually pretty close. Where is it? I'm pretty close to running out of circuit boards. You know, and actually Bronzium wiring, those go fast, and I don't normally I have so many of both of those. Exactly, Soul. You know, I would never want my guild members to waste materials at all. I would never want that, and if I had someone that I knew was reliably doing something, I wouldn't have them spend those resources. I would rather them spend it on something that is going to actually help them out. All right, if we're keeping track at home, I think that puts me at about 6 million, right about where I need to be for the guild, which is good. The right-hand side, the signal data. So I have, the only reason I had some signal data is I have been hacking my my daily deals by putting just high relic characters in my favorites. And I have been buying the 3000 crystal bundle anytime it has any signal data in it, or any like signal data as the main thing in it. And I have spent in the last 2 weeks about 12,000 crystals on those daily deals. Let's get these Sithradists in here. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Revan, Malik, Malgus, Bane. Alright, we want to save this squad for next time. Alright, so we're going to call the Relic, Malik, Malgus, Bane. Call this DS open. I do this, I know I talked about this in my latest TB videos, but I do this for a couple of reasons, setting up day plans. I set up day plans basically so that I know exactly what I can use combat-wise that will not screw up platoons, so that I can do my battles right away and still make sure that my platoons are done. And it has been a game changer, and it has been a time saver because now I don't even need to think. I can just do. Farming blue signal data sucks. It completely sucks, Estefano. I get that. I buy it in Conquest. I buy, like, that's what I buy as much as I can. I'm at that point of the game where I'm buying it constantly, but I do still try to stay over 30,000 crystals for big things. Yeah, Nee, so I don't know. As a TV officer, I often see in guild, like, people will be like, oh shit, I used my Hermit Yoda. My bad. I forgot that I platoon Hermit Yoda. And I've done that once or twice too, where I go, oh, fuck, I forgot that I did that. So having those sets allows me to know exactly, like, I can use these characters because none of them are my platoon character. Right? And that's a super important thing. And I've really stressed to my guild to try to do it so that they never have that happen again. It does take a little bit of time to set up the first time you do it, you know, because you're doing it after each and every battle in each phase. But once it's set up, it's very easy to change around. It's very easy to go in and go, oh, let me just change this character or that character. Uh-oh. Misa Sith Lord has followed you on Twitch. Hello, Darth Jar Jar. Evil Jar Jar. The one true Jar Jar Binks. Well, it looks like I hit my minimums. I didn't keep track exactly, but I think I'm at like 6.5, something like that. Oh, look at all those points rolling in. I really wish, you know, if I had like another 30,000 crystals right now, like I would R9 my R9 my Jabba, R8 my Scout Trooper to do the sortie mission. And you get to keep those, yeah, you get to keep those teams until somebody retires, and then when somebody retires, it's a whole thing, and you have to figure that out, and I hate it. I hate when somebody retires, and very often I am the person who has to do, you know, as the TB officer. You guys, if you're not a TB officer, you don't understand. Like, I have done so many platoons just because someone retired or somebody forgot that they had to platoon something and they used it. Like, I just so many. Like, all of my platoons, I have fucking Hoth Rebel Scout is R8. Hoth Rebel Soldier is fucking R9. Like, holy shit, R9. Who else do I have? I've lucked out on a few, actually. Dengar at R8, I lucked out on that. That one has paid off after a year and a half. Aura Singh at R8. Who else? Zalbar at R8 actually paid off for me, right? So after a year and a half, that one paid off for me. Hermit Yoda at R8. Who else? Wicket at R9. Grief Karg at R... Like, every TB, somebody fucks up and I go, okay, I guess I'll use my signal data. Oh my god. Bodhi, anytime somebody uses... And this is... I don't know when you just popped in. But this is why I started having day plans. I know exactly what characters I can use. And exactly what characters I can't use just by doing this. Oh, I can actually delete this. I don't need this anymore. We are pushing for 42 today. Well, 42 has been on the radar for a while. I do have a 44 plan, and my goal is to try to hit that 44 in the next 2 to 3 cycles. And I have a pretty elaborate plan for that. What else can we do mission-wise? We can try to throw... We could try to throw LV in here. It sometimes works. It doesn't usually work. Empire. Dark Side. Yeah, we want to get that 44 on farm. That's where, I mean, obviously that's where we want to be. I'm hoping to get it short term. It's nice now. Day 1 and day 2 are pretty easy for us. So day 1 and 2, I don't have to worry about anymore. So it's really just 4 days of worrying. But I think if my guild actually does what I ask them to do, we will have 44 in the next 3 cycles. Now, will they do what I ask them to do? We will find that out. I mean, if I can hit the averages I need to hit by literally playing on auto, these people who are not playing on auto, like, you, come on, guys, you can do this. You only need 3 platoons at Kafrine to hit 44. That's awesome. So if you're getting, I love when that happens, and then like you get the extra platoons, and then it's just super easy, and you go, wow, this is great. But then there's always somebody in the guild who's like, when are we getting 45? When are we doing this? Go, just give me a month to relax. Can you just give me 1 fucking month to relax? And just like soak in the fact that I got us to our goal. See, we're not doing, you're doing a different strategy than us. We're right now not doing the Malachor strategy. I know about it. I've talked to Phil about it in the past. We might transition to the Malachor strategy, but I'm thinking we can actually just, right, we have Haven here. We can actually just max this because we have a day 3 to day 6 preload. And if we utilize that preload correctly, I don't think we should have too much trouble doing that. And sometimes you just need a rest, man. Like, people don't realize, like, sometimes you just relax. Okay, this is where we just throw our ridiculous team to the wind and we see if it works. Every once in a while, for some reason, it does. We've already hit our minimums. It doesn't matter. Ooh, okay. Wait. Nobody's dead after the first turn. That's usually a good sign. Will it matter? We shall see. Can we do this? Let's take you out. Ooh. It's okay. Even if I get 1 wave here, I'll be super happy. All we need, 1 wave. Define best investment, Sith Lord. Misa Sith Lord. Just got Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Very nice, Daniel. That meant you left us for a little while, asshole. All right, we're obviously not beating this wave. But nice. Cal Kestis, I hate the character. You know I hate the character. But I love the character in the game. My best investment was the Mother Talzin squad. If we're talking about non-requirement squads, if we're talking about just like strictly like your squads that don't have to do with getting other things, my Mother Talzin squad, hands down, has been just such an amazing investment. Bodhi, I agree with you. I know not everybody agrees with us. Last TB, I did 123 waves, something like that. I did not do as many this time because I didn't do phase 1. I very rarely do phase 1. So what did I do without phase 1 today? Without phase 1, I got 100, and about 95% of that was on auto. There's a few fleet missions I didn't do on auto, and that's about it. We still don't. Where the fuck is Oli? Come on, man. Where the where is he? Why the fuck has he not done his character yet? My mic keeps cutting out. Oh, hold on. Let's fix this. I don't know why that usually works, but usually resetting the webcam, which isn't even my mic, seems to usually work out. I do need a better mic, but you know, I bought this one for like $40, and it has done me some solid shit for just $40. Let's see where we're at. This is never gonna need anything. This is pretty good. This should not need anything. We basically do the same thing, Bodhi, and there's a couple people. We are an international guild, so every once in a while, I'm just going to run the bot, so it's going to mess up my game connection in a second. Notify. After the first couple of hours, we start tagging people. And, you know, every platoon except this one has been done. And it is annoying when people just can't pop on for the 30 seconds that it takes to do the platoon. Oh, no, I don't want to. I want to wait for the bot to run before I start the game. So let's leave that like this. Let the bot run. And then you go, where the fuck is this guy? Okay, we can start the game back up. It wasn't cutting out for you, then these assholes need to get a better internet connection. I actually, believe it or not, I haven't set up hot utils for the platoons. It's too much, it's so much, the fucking player game. Go into your game and do it. If your opponent only has Profundity, then Executor with P1 should take it out, no problem. I don't adjust my pings. You know, what I do, Night, is, and it's funny because if we have like, let's say we have 8 Hermit Yodas, right? I'm pinging everybody that has Hermit Yoda. And then 7 of them will be like, oh, I already platooned my Hermit Yoda, stop pinging me. And I will say, listen, it takes me 30 seconds to ping everyone with Hermit Yoda. It takes me 15 minutes to figure out who those other 7 people are. So just deal with the one fucking tag so I don't have to spend 7 minutes. My pet peeve, don't finish their TB chores at least 2 hours. Yeah, I actually, someone in our guild yesterday, they finished at 12:30. And they were like, oh, plenty of time to spare. And I was like, no, fuck you. That means I had to babysit you for an hour and a half. I don't know why it's cutting out for some people and not cutting out for other people, but with Executor, your P1 strategy should work completely fine against Executor if you have P1. Let's see. How did I do for the phase? 9.8 territory points overall. That includes the deploys. I don't even, because I can't account for everybody and where they are in the world, but I do understand that some of my guys are international, so I do understand that some of them like might be sleeping and they'll get tag number 2 versus tag number 1 or whatever it happens to be. All right, we are done with TB right now. As I said, I did get to start Ahsoka this morning, and I started some of her tiers specifically because I wanted to bring my cards down, my keys down. I wanted to bring the keys down enough that I could buy the keys thing again before the reset, so that I could, not have to constantly refresh. So I did as little as possible. I don't intend to get the ult today, but I should have enough ability to get tickets to unlock her. I tell my guild needs to be adults, and the reason that I don't set up hot utils is what I found with light side territory battles was that when we did a full assign and people would get assigned certain characters, like let's say gas, right? Gas at like R7. Everybody has gas at R8. Everybody in my guild. And then what'll happen is people go, oh, well, I was only assigned 2 characters, so I'm only doing those 2 characters. But what I really want to happen is the people to just know the characters that are like high priority characters and fucking platoon everything else that you can. And I've just found people get stingy otherwise. And I don't want people to get stingy. I want them to do their goddamn shit. Like, stop making me babysit you. That's all I ask. Don't make me babysit you. That's all I want. Those of you that make your guild babysit you, screw you guys. You're rude, you're mean, I hate you. If you know you can't do something until last minute, I promise you, reach out to your TB officer. Let them know. They will appreciate it, because then they don't have to worry about you. They'll go, oh, they can't get to it till an hour before because of this thing. Great. Makes their life so much easier. They know you'll get to it. They know you're thinking about it. They know something's going on. Like, I'm not bothered by someone who says, hey, I have a work meeting. I can't do my combats until the last hour. Because then I know. Like, I know that they're coming back. I'm aware of what's happening in their life. Boom. Done. Love it. And we're very reasonable, too. We are a very reasonable, casual, competitive guild. I've told people before, if you have a busy day, if you're on vacation, if something's going on, just tell me. Do your platoons, platoon harder than normal, just deploy. I get it. I'm not... It might hurt us a little bit, but if you can't do something specifically because of something going on, I'm all about making sure that you can get where you need to be and not having to, like, focus on the game too heavily. What the fuck? Okay. Wow. Okay. Barris did not die the first time I did that. One of the big things that I like about hot utils, and I don't pay for it, my guild leader pays for it, for the like 3 or 4 officers that need it, and you know, for me basically. Okay, I guess that's not working. It allows me to do a bot command. What does this do? Oh, maybe the defense up does help. I can just do a bot command in the morning that will tag everybody. So everybody in the guild that hasn't deployed yet will get a thing saying, hey, you need to deploy. It has been a huge quality of life change being able to do that. Does hot utils cover only one person? It depends on the level of hot utils you get. There is a guild version that's like $25. It allows you to use the guild command, but it also gives you like 3 or 4 single person accounts. So that's what my guild leader did. He has the guild subscription, and it allows him to award like 3 single person subscriptions, and he gave one of them to me because I do all of the guild's stuff. I cannot go back. Like, I cannot go back from having hot utils. It is just such a quality of life, useful tool. It also has a mod switching thing that allows you to save a whole set for your entire roster, which is a huge quality of life thing as well. I don't do a lot of mod switching, but I do mod switch for the raid. I do mod switch. I think it's set up to a specific ally code, Astra. I'm not 100% sure though, but I'm pretty sure it's set up to a specific ally code. I'm not coming back. What a badass move. Gets invited back to the order, and she's just like, fuck you guys. You piece of shits. I don't think it's necessary for all people to have hot utils, but I think if you are someone that's on the more serious end, it is a very useful tool. And definitely worth looking into at the very least. I find even just for the mod switching, it is just beyond useful. I also use it for bronzium openings. Like this morning, I opened 500,000 worth of bronziums in a minute and a half, maybe less. And that's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to do. Ba-da-da-da-da. I think the Grand Ivory mod optimizer has a thing with hot utils, so you can use it through hot utils. But yes, if you use hot utils, you set up the stuff in game, and then you set up a set, and you can force load that entire set And you can set up a set that's just a couple characters as well. So like for my Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, I have a set that's only the 2 characters. So that's the thing, Knight. You know, unfortunately, I probably would not pay for hot utils myself. Just because I am a little bit stingy when it comes to buying myself things. It's very hard for me to convince myself to buy myself stuff. I almost never make purchases, like fun purchases for myself. But I do think it is worth the subscription price if you are in a position to be able to pay for it. If my guild leader ever quit or took that subscription away from me, I would be very sad, just because it is so beyond useful and I don't know what I would do otherwise. Oof. Another 15. One more. I hate having to do these battles over and over. I wish, like, now that the ticket system, you don't lose tickets, just make a battle cost 200 tickets or whatever number and make me do the battle once. There's no reason to have to do these battles 4 times, 5 times, 8 times, whatever it is per. I'm gonna tell you, I mean, again, Blake, it is worth it. I think price-wise for the time, but like that doesn't mean it is for everybody. That doesn't mean it's right for everybody. Hot utils is not right for everybody. Please consult your doctor if hot utils gives you a rash. There is no reason that even the most basic functions of hot utils shouldn't be in game. Like even just a full, even if they just had a full roster thing, like a full roster reset, like a save and a load, that alone would go such a long way. Thank you, Knights. I couldn't think of the word. Mod snapshots. I even wrote a post about it like a year and a half ago. Mod snapshots would go such a long way for players. And I don't see why that would be difficult to implement. Even just that. Oh, I should have used this. Silly me. I'm not coming back because you guys are shit. You guys didn't believe me that I didn't bomb the fucking embassy. Yeah, my memory is not the most amazing of memories when it comes to names of things. 30, okay. I haven't, oh, I did do this tier once. Okay. Guess I did. I think I almost died doing this tier, if I remember correctly. I think, so I love the eras system. I do think it is a super cool system, and they've done a lot to give us more information, which we've been asking for. But I do think that now with the era system, that they really do need to spend a little bit of time focusing on quality of life. I did write a post about that more recently, the quality of life features that I would really like to see implemented in the game. just to make, again, players' lives a little bit easier. We have 24 minutes left on this, but I am going to have to refresh it anyway. So let's refresh that bitch. Making everything simmable was a huge quality of life thing, and I really want them to continue. 3 rewards only. Ew, gross. I didn't know that was there too. I really want them to continue on that trend. Okay, calm down, Maul. Ooh. Oh, damn. Okay. It is nice not losing tickets. I'll tell you that much. Like, that is a beautiful thing. Maul's 2 legs are strong. I want Spider Maul. Spider Maul, Spider Maul. He's a spider, his name's Darth Maul. We've gotta beat that mission one more time. Spider Maul, Spider Maul. We've got to stall some time for Spider Maul. It's interesting he doesn't always use his 5 thing. I don't... When it comes to hosting custom GAC matches, I understand why some people want it. I don't know... I don't know if that would be a quality of life change. It doesn't really change the quality of life of players. I think it would be fun for some people, and I do think that content creators would enjoy hosting matches between each other, and that might bring more views to creators. But I do think that when it comes to a mobile game like this, the outside world is typically not watching. Someone like Arnold is big enough where maybe he has some people watching who have quit the game or maybe are brought in because of him. But I think that we typically end up being self-contained. Relatively self-contained is what I should say. Out of the 3 remaining, I don't know which I'd second or third between Paw Patrol and NS. NS are light speed levels. Paw Patrol not even beating the first tier. Next, I'm going to tell you right now when it comes to Paw Patrol is... for some reason, I can never beat it on manual. And when I hit... I did the thing, M3, and I only have 1 more left, and I have to go and refill it soon. I think when I hit auto, for some reason, it always works on that stupid thing. But as for which one I would go for, I don't know your roster, so I don't know. Like, it depends on where your roster is at. I will say, and I am stalling a little bit because we have 21 minutes until the next refresh of the store to get those tickets. I'll bring it up. Where is it on my screen? We're gonna go to this. But for anyone who has not read this yet, where is it? There it is. I wrote this post a few weeks ago. It is about fundamental GAC changes that I think should be made. It is in my egg notifications thing. I did do a video on it as well. I highly recommend reading it if you did not read it already. I do very fundamentally believe that if these changes were implemented into GAC, it would completely be a game changer for the majority of players without changing the GAC economy. Because one thing I don't think a lot of people understand is you can't change the GAC economy because CG's not going to put more free resources into the system. It is a very long post. It has a lot of stuff going on with it. There is a video version of it. I highly, 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 highly recommend people read it. And again, there is a video that I did for it on YouTube as well. And Moonborn did a lovely amount of graphics for it as well. Shard Shop Reach, and I wasn't going to pay that. We have possibility with Ray Vision. We have possibilities for characters like Spider Maul. I mean, Spider Maul is canon. Ray, did he? Listen, guys. Do me a favor. Find that stream for me because I have found that when I listen to Arnold, every once in a while when he references something that I did, sometimes he references it correctly and sometimes he doesn't. If you know what stream that was, tell me. I like to look at those segments to see, and that's actually how I got my Merrin, is somebody told me that I was referenced. I went and watched the video. I noticed that he extrapolated my data incorrectly. I posted a joke Reddit post about it. He responded and he sent me $150 to get Merrin right away. So I like to just keep tabs. If anytime Arnold references me, just tag me, let me know. And if you know what stream it is, message it to me. Because I do like to look into those and see, if what was said was correct or not. Oh shit. Is this some world between worlds shit? Oh man. And he still hasn't collected his lifetime of the game achievement world. What is this? Whirlwind, So it's basically Fulcrum. Yeah, okay. Ooh. I'm waiting for Clone 99. Clone 99 is my current pet project character that I want to see in the game. But I think truly Oh, Ezra just dies. Okay. I do think that the biggest the most egregious missing character from the game right now is Bail Organa. Oh shit, that's kind of cool. I think that Bail Organa not being in this game right now is insane. Let's see, how many times does this have to be done? 3 times. 25, 50, 75 plus 45. I might need to refresh this twice, maybe? Alright, I mean, I guess it's only 25. I might not have enough tickets. Bail Organa is such a... It's so egregious that he's not in this game. I actually, speaking of KOTOR and KOTOR 2, I have been playing basically on my off days when I have like when I'm sick or when I have like spring break. I have been playing old Star Wars games on Twitch. I don't usually do it on YouTube as well. I usually only do it on Twitch. We played Jedi Knight Outcast. We played Academy. We're now playing The Force Unleashed. I've played KOTOR before. I would like to play KOTOR on stream. I've actually never played KOTOR 2. KOTOR came out when I was huge into RPGs, and KOTOR did not resonate with me as an RPG. It was one of the few games that I had on the Xbox. I actually talked about this on a stream recently. It's one of the few games that I have. Oh man, I might not unlock her today. It's one of the few games that I had on the Xbox. I played it. It was fine. But there were so many other RPGs at the time that I liked better. I would like to revisit the game and replay it and see how it is now. And I would like to do KOTOR 2 as well. So we will eventually get to those ones. Yeah, you know, the trick with this game is that you have to... They have to, like, release characters, but they also have to release characters on a specific cadence so that they're not releasing everything at once and then they don't have any content. But I do think Bail Organa is just such a gross missing character that is just so insane to not be in the game right now. Yeah, I played Force Unleashed a long time ago, and I'm in the very beginning of it right now, playing through again. So what do we need? We need 55, we need 110, we need like 160. Oh, because they moved it to here from there. Have I... I had stopped refreshing normal energy, but I guess now I have to go back to refreshing normal energy for these stupid tickets. Are there oh, look at that. There are tickets. Do I buy them? I don't really want to buy them. I wish I had more shard shop currency. Do we do it? I don't know. I'll decide when I take my bathroom break. I need to go to the bathroom. I need to refill my coffee. I will be right back, and we'll decide if we decide to. I don't really want to buy those tickets because it won't even get me enough, right? It'll get me 50, 75. I'm gonna need like 160, so I don't even know if it's worth it. But we'll decide. I'll be right back. we're back. I saw a comment I wanted to comment on before I stepped away. Someone saying Yoda not being a galactic legend is obtuse on their part, and I honestly, I think it's a great talking point, because I disagree with it, but I understand it at the same time. When a game like this comes out, it's really tough, right? We talk about, and I know one of the criticisms a lot of people have had over the years is like, why do we have characters like Cup and like I'm a Gundy and Ewok Scout before we have characters like Bail Organa or, you know, somebody really important? When a game like this comes out, the only way that it works is if they have a few really iconic characters to start, right? So you need characters like Darth Vader in order to convince people to want to play. But then you also need to fill out with a lot of crap, because obviously you don't want to release all of your super amazing, awesome characters right off the bat. You want to save those over time. Now, Grandmaster Yoda is a highly popular character. He came out very early in the game cycle. He was either the first or the second Journey character. I don't remember which one. But at that time, Galactic Legends didn't exist. You know, so you need to always have that stick in front. And Grandmaster Yoda was a dominant character for literally years. And is still a very strong character when used correctly. So I understand why something like Grandmaster Yoda is not currently a GL, because, you know, we don't really have another version of Yoda to say, oh no, we're going to put this one as the GL. Now, I do think with High Republic starting to become a thing and Grandmaster Yoda being younger, there is a possibility that we see something like like High Republic Yoda being a GL. And some people might not agree with that being the best version of him, but and they might say, well, he's so much better at this part of the whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think that that's the most realistic option once we start to see that coming more to like live action and to Disney Plus and whatever else. So Tico, thanks for joining us this morning. I think Yoda is still a great character. I think if anything, you could give Yoda an Omicron, but I think he's still a solid character when used correctly. Those foresights can be such a pain in the ass. A lot of people have been throwing him into a Quadme squad now, and it makes that Quadme squad so much harder to deal with. Yes, Daniel. That's why I said he was either the first or the second Journey characters. What did I spend on? I talked about this earlier. I can't show you the pack because it's no longer here, but I bought that $20 pack that if you buy it twice, it's $20, then $10. I did a video. I didn't do a video on it. I didn't have time. I did a Reddit post on it. I tagged it on Discord, and I basically told people that, yes, I was buying this. I bought it with this lovely Amex gift card that has been sitting in my laptop case for the last 3 months because I hate Amex gift cards and they're a pain in the ass to use, and anytime, that's my fun money. Whenever I get one of those, I find something stupid to use it on. Well, we did just recently get the Zelbar Omicron. So they might be going back to that. I actually think that they might start doing more old character Omicrons again, because if you think about it, every marquee gets one, and that's been the case since they came out. Every Journey or Conquest character gets 3, but they've also given us more Omicrons. Paw Patrol, there's 5 on a 33% chance. This episode track, there's now 2 more free ones when you get this and you go to the episode shipments. You can get 2 more than you could before. And this top episode track has 10 of them. So I do think that because they've increased the cadence on Omicrons, they are going to go again and have a pass and look at older characters, maybe not as frequently as they were doing it before, but I do think that they are going to start doing that a little bit more. I think it is hard because we look at teams that have like 2 or 3 or 4 Omicrons, and they can be super, super, super overpowering. Oh, hey, M3. Yeah, cool. Let's do that. Oh, it's all distorted on my screen because of the way that I have Discord. Hold on. So this is basically the pack. How do we... No, wrong thing. There. This is basically the pack. It is, I think it was a great thing. I bought it. No regrets, no yogurts. Super happy with the purchase. It did exactly what I needed it to do. 10/10, would recommend. I don't do pack analysis on every pack that comes to the game, but I try to do them for the things that I think are worth it, especially with like my Buy Me a Beer members. They have a neat little area on Discord that I will show off because it is self-promotion. Which is a pack cost analysis area where anytime they kind of request of me a certain pack, I do like a whole breakdown of it for them and let them know what my thoughts are on it, and I keep it there. So anything that I think is high value, I try to look out for. Let's head back over here. Roster review requests. I do think, I said this before, I do think that we had a better system with the PvE Omicrons. At the very least, the stupid fucking Tarpals Omicron, the GC Omicron, which like lives rent-free and haunts me to this day as the only Omicron missing on this team. And right now I don't have a lot of Omicrons. So I don't have enough to even have the red one. It is the only Omicron I am missing on this team, and it pisses me off to no end that it is only for GCs. And I think that if you're gonna have a GC Omicron, the GC Omicrons should be for TB as well. I kind of understand the Conquest ones, maybe not, because they are useful in their own right. To some extent, I haven't applied them. I don't find the need for them. But this thing literally lives rent-free in my head. The fucking Phalanx Omicron. It pisses me off that I don't have it. And I just do not feel right applying it. Because it's a goddamn GC Omicron that is just useless. And there's no way to get an ROI on it. I did the math on it. It would take so many years, more years than this game has left, to get any kind of payback on that. Oh man, I am running low on these things. This one. I don't have any more. Oh, that fucking Phalanx Omicron, man. I swear, like it's one of those things, you know how like you have those times in your life, those cringy times in your life that live rent free in your head, and you forget about that one stupid thing that you did, and 10 years go by and you forget about it, and then it just pops back in your head and you're horrified by it late at night. That is the Phalanx Omicron for me. The fact that I don't have it just sits there in my head going, you don't have this one Gungan thing. You don't have this one Gungan thing. I can't buy this because I am running out of ship credits. And I need to make sure I keep enough of those. We're gonna save that. Oh, one other thing that we do need to talk about. I don't know why the... Oh, there it is. One other thing that we do need to talk about is this week's poll. Mission did win. Was winning, still was winning. I actually already ended up applying hers because I wanted to get it for GAC lock. So I kind of already did it. I think I might have to put those polls on hold for a little while just because of this Phatphil rivalry going on. I still very much want to get all of these characters to relics. But I am at a point where I have been applying every fucking thing that I can right now. I even started working on Wookiees. I did a bunch of Wookiees last week. Where the fuck is Wookiee? There it is. To start getting these characters, so that I can do the Wookiee CM. But whatever. I want to revisit those in a little while once this is done, because I do want to get those characters where they need to be. Did Oli do his stupid thing? No, he still hasn't done his goddamn thing. Come on, Oli. Come on. What the fuck, man? I have enough R9s left. Interesting. Fun. Yeah, I wish I could get Ahsoka right now, but even if I bought these things with crystals, it's not enough for me to get Ahsoka, so I guess I'm going to have to put that on hold as well. And we're going to go into the reviews that we have for today, because that's what we got left for today. Let me just make sure we'll pop this down. I know, I was listening to it. I actually, and again, Phil and I are friends. You know, I've said that to people. I've told it's a fun rivalry. We're playing it up because it's fun. We're having fun with it. We're silly. We're making fun of each other. We're fucking around with each other. Yeah. Everybody message him, piss him off. I'm gonna tag. What time? That was 8:19. Holy, I'm gonna tag him one more time. Hunter. It actually, his platoon is not going to mess with our TB at all. But we go back and forth and we fuck with each other about it to be silly. And people, you know, some people are like, we don't give a shit. But a lot of people have said like, hey, this is a lot of fun. I'm here for it. This is like silly and ridiculous. So we've been doing it. Misa Sith Lord, I have a roster review area on Discord that you'll need to go to, just because I do always have a line of people. And I try to get that in order, except I always do my premium ones first. And I think somebody signed up today already, so we have to add that on there. But if you fill out our little thing, and you know, I will get to it as soon as I can. We have Estefano is up first today. I don't know if he's still here. Caleb, have a nice day, man. Thanks for joining us for a little while. I don't know if he's still here. I saw him earlier. We'll find out as I'm reading this, because he'll go, oh, I'm here. Please, Daddy, I'm here. Or something along those lines. Let's see. Estefano, linktier.gg. Top 20 of your fleet. 18 executors, 2 Leviathans. So new-ish shard. I'm coordinating with a couple of guys around my payout, but no Discord. I usually stay within the top 10, get 1 every day. Awesome, you're here. Beautiful, love it. Rebel Roundup CT3 probably has Jabba already then. Maybe not, but probably. Especially if Forest Moon is only CT2. That's me, Soul, when it comes to it. Place of Power CT2, Military Might CT3, Ground War CT3, Secrets and Shadows CT1. Nothing on the newer ones, so nothing with Inquisitors, which is interesting. Currently working on Jedi Cal while also getting DACA and Marin to Relics for Secrets and Shadows. After that, going to work on Starkiller and his team for TW, then on to Jedi Bros and Bo Mando. After that, planning to go for Leia and JML. Shards for any important proving characters, not even close to any characters, but I'm refreshing Bane and Malicos and will refresh Luthen when he gets thrown in there. That sounds like you're going to have a huge Kyrotech crunch, M3, and I do not envy you. I'm so happy that I'm done with my Kyrotech crunch. All right, I'm gonna say somewhere around 6 to 7 million. Let's see, where are we at? Wow, actually a lot earlier, 4 million, which is interesting. So probably a pretty tight roster, which is relatively nice. To have something like that. What I will tell you when it comes to Secrets and Shadows, now we've talked about on the stream how the Night Sisters, how the Night Sisters are my GOAT Rise of the Empire squad, and I highly recommend them. But if you're already doing CT1 of Secrets and Shadows, they're not actually a priority team right now. And I would say maybe don't worry about getting CT2 or CT3. The time when you should worry about CT2 and CT3 of the Night Sisters Secrets and Shadows is when you plan on really heavily using that squad. Because it is very hard to get an ROI on the materials unless you have insane modding. Again, I know Phil did it with mostly G12 characters, but he has said himself that the insanity of the modding that he had to do for that event is like he wouldn't recommend it really. I think that for the most part, CT1 is a good stopping point for the event. When it comes to who you are refreshing, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't even looked at your roster yet. I understand refreshing Bane. Bane is insane, and that rhymes, which makes it true. And he can fundamentally alter what your account can do. I don't necessarily recommend refreshing Malicos or Luthen. Malicos is great. A Seer Malicos team is great. I just think that right now your account has better things that it can benefit from than having a Seer Malicos team. Now, again, you are free to do whatever you want with your account. I think a lot of people think I am an efficiency-only person, but the reality is I think that everybody plays the game and has fun in different ways, and if part of that is getting Malicos, then you do you, boo. Luthen as well, great character. I use him, solid, works well in the Rise of the Empire Saw mission, works, I like the old Green Day reference there, Knights of Ni, works really well in like 3's GAC and 5's GAC for that matter, but I think with where you are currently in the game, you just have better things that you could be working on. Again, have not yet looked at your roster, so could that change? Sure. But let's actually take a look and let's actually see what's going on here. There it is. Where is my fight song? Da 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 da. Just have Jabba. Pat, when I do a roster review, Soul, my whole thing is this is my plan for what I would do. Slot in whatever you want. Slot in whatever you want for fun at any point that you want. I can only talk about it from an efficiency point of view because I don't know what's fun for you. I'm doing roster reviews now. I've been doing roster reviews for a while, man. I've done probably over 1,000 roster reviews, and my roster reviews are in depth, right? I only do like 3 a week because I sit down and I look at shit and talk about it. But let's see what we got here. let's check out the Secrets and Shadows, shall we? If somebody's dying, you're doing it with Phoenix, maybe? You're probably doing it with Phoenix. I feel like if you get Mother Talzin to R7 to 7 stars, which you should be doing, get Mother Talzin to 7 stars in the short term for 2 reasons. One, you pretty much have the squad that you'll need to do CT1 of Secrets and Shadows without anyone dying, because Nihilus's Annihilate doesn't have the Zeta, so it doesn't keep guys, it won't prevent revives. But Mother Talzin's event also gives you Zetas if you have her at 7 stars. So those are free Zetas that you're leaving on the table. And I would highly recommend getting on that as soon as possible with her. And that should solve your Secrets and Shadows problem. Inquisitors, I don't really think it's worth working on until your guild says, hey, we want to start working on Inquisitors, so we're not going to worry too much about that. Battle for Naboo. Master Qui-Gon. You don't even have Padawan Obi-Wan unlocked. Interesting. What I recommend to people in your position, because Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon are both Cantina farms, and Cantina farms suck, get Master Qui-Gon and get Padawan Obi-Wan to 5 stars. Because if you get them to 5 stars and you invest in them just enough to do tier 1 and 2, by the time you're ready for them, by the time you are looking to relic them, you will have them at 7 stars already. The 2 tiers on their own will do that work for you. And anytime you can cut out Cantina farms, it's a good thing. Because having to do them otherwise sucks. I get it. Padawan Obi-Wan should be in about a month and a half. I understand. But I would just 5 stars and then let them hold at that point. For now. Until you're ready to go for them. One big thing that I will say, I see that you want to go for Leia and JML. I am a firm believer in Jabba and JML should always be farmed one after the other. I don't care whether you farm Jabba first or JML first. It doesn't matter, but I would always farm one after the other, right? You already have Jabba. I would strongly recommend JML before you do Leia. Now, you're in this, square. I call it a square. Some people say it's a triangle. I really think it's a square. Where there is a lot of overlap between JML, between Jabba, between Profundity, and between Leia. And I think it's not a bad idea to do all 4 one after the other. But if I were in your position personally, I would do Jabba, which you've already done, JML. I would honestly go to Profundity next, get it to 5 stars, and let it sit there, and get the free shards after that. And then I would go for Leia. I would do all of that concurrently. And then at that point, that's when I would go after Bo. Now, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, if your guild is asking you to do it and your guild is planning to do Zepho, then yes, you definitely should do that in the shorter term. Just because Zepho is a big guild thing. Bo-Katan is a big guild thing as well. But I think you would be better served by doing JML Profundity Leia first. I know you said that you have an Ufu squad, Seer, so then you would have Malicos. I mean, you have an okay Ufu squad. Kylo Ren, Cal, sure. I just don't think it's worth to be spending all of those crystals right now when you could be spending those crystals towards things that are going to be more important to you. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. But I think speeding up JML, I think speeding up Profundity, I think speeding up Leia will give you a much bigger leverage into the game. Again, I would get Mother Talzin to 7 stars so that you can get those extra Zetas, so that you can get the quality of life on Secrets and Shadows. And then I would do Bo-Katan after that. I don't think that there's anything, like, normally I would like look at, you know, how close you are to things, not this fucking thing. I don't really think it's necessary here. I think you're just in that right space where there is a super solid move. What would I spend crystals on? I personally think that the 3 refreshes of Cantina are mandatory. Like, every player in this game who can afford to do it from their crystal income should be doing 3 refreshes of the Cantina energy. I personally think, obviously, normal energy is going to be a big deal for you right now as well. If you're spending things on Malicos shards, I would almost say spend those crystals on Kyrotech instead. Those Malicos shards, by the time you get to where you need to be with Malicos and that squad and having the things you have, you'll have Malicos. I would much prefer spending on those on Kyrotech packs. Now, if you're spending money on Kyrotech packs, there is a great, I don't know if it's still in the game. Let me check before I pull it up. Oh, there it is. I'm going to tell you again, I did a big thing on this. This Kyrotech Ascension pack for $50, it is the single best Kyrotech pack in the game. There are some people who buy that $7 weekly pack. This is about double the efficiency. So if you religiously buy that $7 pack, buy this once and then skip the other pack for 7 weeks, and you will get double the Kyrotech. I know not everyone wants to spend $50 in the game. I have no idea if you're free to play. You might have put it in your survey. But if you're not, and for anyone else listening, this pack is insane, and I probably would have bought it if I were still in a Kyrotech crunch. Thankfully, literally, thankfully, I am not. But I would be putting towards Kyrotech at this point if you're gonna spend on things that are not energy refreshes. You're in this super cool sweet spot of the game. Look, I think you mean to say I don't want to spend money, and I totally get that. Some people, when I do those analyses, some people are like, "Oh, you could buy a burrito." Fuck you, Kazgul. I love you, Kazgul. I'm not here to tell people to spend money or not to spend money. I am only here to say, if you're gonna spend money, this is a good pack or this is a bad pack. I do not judge people and their spending habits. But I used to buy the Kyrotech in the weekly shipments. 2,800 crystals. You do that once a month instead of refreshing Malicos. You are going to not catapult yourself, but you will speed up the grind to the important stuff. I think JML is just too important a character for somebody... is too important a character to waste on getting Malicos right now. I like to think of things as, is this character good for one thing, or is this character good for many things? And Malicos will be really good for you for GAC. JML will be insane for you for GAC, for TW, for Conquest, for like basically everything that you do in this game. That's kind of how I think about things. So if I were to do this, I would get Mother Talzin to 7 stars as soon as possible. I personally would not wait on the bros, to get them to 5 stars and just let them coast to 7 stars. I would do that right away. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to take that. I would be working very strongly towards JML right now. I would do Profundity right after. I'd do Leia right after that. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis slot in at the beginning. And I would do Bo right after that. That is where I would take your account. And once again, I personally would not refresh Malicos or Luthen. I honestly don't even know if I would refresh Bane, but I understand Bane is a fucking powerhouse, and I get it. Do you have any other questions? And while I'm waiting, we'll read through chat because I've been I try to ignore chat during roster reviews because then I get caught up. Misa Sith Lord, if you only started playing a week ago, there's not that much I can offer you in terms of a roster review. I don't play alt accounts, so it's very hard for me to look at the very, very, very early account and tell you what to do. What I do recommend you do, though, and I recommend this so strongly, there is a content creator, Darth Loquitur. I'm going to post him in the chat just so you can search him up. Darth Loquitur might be literally the nicest person I have ever met in this game. And he has some of the most amazing new player guides. I don't know if he does roster reviews, but I know he keeps an updated guide to the new game, and he is so insanely knowledgeable about the beginning game. I would highly, highly, highly recommend looking at his stuff. I cannot recommend him enough. I would put him before any other content creator when it comes to being at the part of the game that you are at. Blake, me as the Reddit guy, first of all, thank you for checking out the Gungies. That was a labor of love. I started doing video about a year ago. And I don't do a lot of videos on the regular, but I do weekly brunch. We do brunch every Sunday morning. It's a lot of fun for me. It's my way of like having fun with the community. It's also my way. One of the reasons I started it is a lot of people on Reddit took me too seriously, and they thought like when I disagreed with them, I was being a dick and I was being angry and that I was too analytical, and they didn't understand my humor or my sarcasm. And this was kind of my way to show that side of it, and I just started to fall in love with doing it. So we do this literally every Sunday, and it's one of my favorite things to do, hands down, 100%. Will you say you have learned most from all the roster reviews you've done? Good. Hey, Snorquest. I actually went to bed early last night, so I feel really refreshed and have had more sleep than I normally do, even with the lack of an hour. What would I say I'd learned from doing all these roster reviews? I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's about 40 of you watching between the two platforms. I did about 500 roster reviews in text form before I went to video. And I've probably done another like 300 to 500 roster reviews in the last year. I don't hate doing them, but I hate the concept of them. I do them because I do think that they are helpful to people. I do them because I do think there are players who do not have the same head for the analytics of the game, and I know it's helpful to them. But I do think that there are only so many paths in the game, and I find I end up giving like one of maybe 3 or 4 different paths to people. And if you just watch, you know, if you ask for a roster review from me, you've probably watched roster reviews I've done. And if you've watched roster reviews I've done, you almost definitely already know what I'm going to tell you. So I think people need to listen more, and then they will, you know, they won't need the roster reviews because they'll kind of know what's right. Now, in terms of something I've learned for myself, it actually has had the opposite effect on me. Because I used to be entirely 100% always go for the most useful, most viable thing. And it has helped me embrace fun farms and side projects and passion projects. I have definitely done so many more passion projects since really starting roster reviews, and that's from watching people tell me their passion projects and constantly repeating the phrase, you know, do what's fun for you, don't always follow what is the most efficient thing. So I think that that's what I would say that I have learned. DL was my first. My father's still... Yeah, Darth Locator is insane, man, with this stuff. I missed it. Girl in the Clouds. I have my head in the clouds at work all the time, so I get it. Actually, with next year's Gungies, we are looking to more heavily feature newer content creators. So I will again plug this because before, when I said this, there were not as many people online. We have this channel at the bottom of Discord. It is currently empty. It is called the Gungies Announcements. It is set up as a publishable channel. I highly recommend, if you know a smaller content creator, tell them about the Gungies, tell them about this channel, because the plan is to have other Discords publish these announcements to their own Discords automatically, like people generally do with CG's announcements. And I recommend putting it in their CG announcements channel. It is not a spamming channel. It is something that'll probably get used once a month starting in September, and it'll help those newer creators know when the Gungies are starting so that they can mobilize their own communities to get the word out for voting for them. And we already have some ideas for next year to help bolster the wins for newer creators. More so than, you know, the obvious ones that, like, we knew were going to win tons of awards because they have such a big who have such a big following, and it makes it a lot easier them. As for, you know, the most effective thing to farm, yes, the thing that you're going to have fun doing, but I think that, you know, there's a balance between what's efficient and what's fun, and if you're very efficient, you can do more things that are fun. So I do think that there's a balance there. Would you recommend getting R9, JML, and Lover Boys, or giving it to them as time goes by? I will show you my account right now, just because we're still in your roster review. I do think that the Lover Boys are worth the R9. Where you are in the game right now, I don't know if you have to R9 them. Maybe R7 for right now. You know, I did mine right away. I see the increased need for R9. I know that it's coming, and I want the ROI as soon as possible. But as far as JML, my JML is still R8. I personally do not recommend R9 JML. Here's why. I think that a lot of players, they get caught up on, does this make the character stronger? And they do not think about, does having the stronger character actually do anything for me? So when people ask, when is a farm done, right? They say, when is a team done? When do I stop with a team? My answer, some people go, oh, R5, oh, R7. My answer is always, when the team does what you need it to do, you are done farming that team. JML at R8 does what I need that team to do. I don't need him to do anything else. I don't need to R9 him. That is one of the most important things to think about. Letters from Still Plays. I have not heard of them, but I am going to write them down because I do like to chat with newer creators and get their perspective on things. And there's a few newer creators that I talk to. One of my favorite ones is, what's his name? Kebalak. I love this guy, Kebalak. He's a newer guy. He's still learning the game, but he's just such a feel-good, like, I love his stuff. I like to pop into his streams. Let's move on, because we're running out of time for today. So let us move on. What do we got? We did Estefano. We got Jericho up 223, so we're pretty far behind. Oof. That's it. You know, I don't... Especially, people used R9 JML for Lord Vader, but now Bo handles that. I will do my R9 JML when I need him for ROTE. Right now, I don't need that. Jericho, regular review, top 20 of your fleet, 18 executors, 1 endurance, 1 profundity. Got pushed out of the top 5 when pushing 1 dropped. When punishing 1 dropped, are you coordinating? No. I highly recommend coordinating with your fleet Discord. Find your fleet Discord. There is, I'll show you, right? We have this thing on Discord. It is a command, !fleet Discord. It's a little 4-minute video. It teaches you how to contact your fleet Discord. It's not just about getting a payout spot. It's about making your life easier. Because if everybody knows who and when to hit, who to hit something, when to hit something, they'll hit you less, and you'll have less climbing to do. Zavor, I didn't say hey to you this morning. I apologize. It's good to see you. I know we very briefly spoke last week, but I'm happy to see you here. Assault battles, mostly in order. Places of Power is only CT1. Fanatical Devotion, CT1, that's fine. Duel of the Fates, Tier 5. I think that's the R5 or the R7 tier. Currently working on building JML and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I'm spending most of my normal energy in Chirotech. Once completed, I plan to build Great Mothers and finish farming for Bo-Katan and Inquiz with a Z, with GLs mixed in. I have all the shards farmed for SLKR and Leia. I'm ready for the executive. Oh, so you got a lot going on. I feel like I need to fit Leviathan in somewhere, but I'm a long way from being ready. Not sure if I'm missing something. My guild is somewhat casual and focused on ROTE, Raid, TW. Are you dead set on continuing? No. How highly do you value? Fun farms are fine, but it's hard to fit in due to the lack of resources. Chirotech. Totally understand that. I love not being in the Chirotech grind anymore. Favorite characters, gas team, just got Cat. I think, man, no JML, working on Jedi. I'm gonna say 5 to 6 million, but I've been wrong today so far. Let's see, this is still Estefano's. See, 7 million. Damn, I'm wrong. It sucks being pushed to 20 all the way from 1. I think, I'm not 100% sure of this. I believe there is a current profundity counter to punishing 1. I'm not a fleet guy. I would just double check with Bit Dynasty. Bit Dynasty is the GOAT of everything in this game. I would check with him. You probably will need a 7-star profundity for that, which will hopefully be helpful to you. But let's actually check out the account and see what this looks like. I do want to check out... We have Jabba, we have Rey. Beautiful, love it. Again, I've said this before. I personally believe JML and Jabba should always be farmed one after the other. That is a very strong personal belief. Sith. You can probably... Do you have... No. Oh, you can probably do CT2 of Places of Power literally right now. I did Places of Power at CT2 with no relics, and I did that consistently every week because this was a time before assault battles were simmable, right? So we're talking about like the VHS era. Papa Palp lead with Darth Treya. Nihilus is going to be your GOAT for this. Let's just check out. Which one? Annihilate, Lord of Hunger. Start of each enemy to flick down. Yeah, you probably do not even need Nihilus's Zetas for this. But Papa Palp, Treya, Nihilus. I would say Bastillashon and probably Darth Vader. And the goal of Places of Power is to go as slowly as possible and try to get at least one Annihilate per round with Nihilus, and to be able to open each round with a new Annihilate. And it doesn't even have to be on the first turn, but like the first turn with Nihilus, you do an Annihilate. And you do that on the leader, because if you do it on the leader, then everybody on the enemy team gets like a morale debuff. But the goal is to go slow and steady. Right, so that might mean basicing everybody, just debuffing everybody to make sure that you can get at least one Annihilate per turn, and that you can start each round with an Annihilate. But you can definitely do CT2 right now. You almost definitely will need to remod and make sure that these characters have your fastest speed mods on them so that they run circles around the enemy. But you can definitely do it with where your roster is right now. You already have Jedi. Oh, you did get Jedi. Okay, good. So you finished Jedi Master Luke in the 2 weeks since you have posted this. You can definitely do Ground War at CT3. You want a super slow Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. So while you're probably planning to put Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker under JML in the normal term, for the assault battle, take all of the speed mods off. Literally all of them. Put things with no speed or very limited speed. Make him the leader. Throw Revan in there. Throw Hermit Yoda in there. You might be able to get this done with Jedi Master Luke with where he is right now. I'm not 100% sure with him not relicked yet. But if you wait till he's relicked, you throw, JML in there. And I would probably throw Grandmaster Yoda because of the constant turns. And the basic idea here will be that the first thing you do is get Jedi Knight Luke a turn by using the event special. That'll speed limit everybody. And then you go as slow as possible through each round. And when you're down to the last guy, get him to like a sliver of health and use the mass special so that Jedi Knight Luke starts every new round, and you start every new round with a stun. And you should find that you can actually get that Ground War pretty damn easily. For Zavor, I did. And you're the third person to ask. I bought those relic packs, those $20, $10 2-for-1 BOGO packs. We were talking about it on stream before. I bought them. I don't regret it. I bought it with this lovely Amex gift card that's been sitting in my laptop bag for the last 3 months. Let's check out our Forest Moon. You can almost, again, Forest Moon CT3, you can almost definitely do. Veers, Stark, Piet. Is Veers the leader? I can never remember which one the leader is. Is it Stark who's the leader? No, Veers is the leader. Okay, so Veers, Stark, Piet. Range Trooper. I used Snow Trooper, but Dark Trooper will probably work just as well. Get these guys, again, yours are actually fairly fast, except like I see this crit damage is like 3 speed. They're not terribly slow, but really prioritize only speed with that team. Again, Veer, Stark, Piet. I did Range Trooper, Snow Trooper. My range and snow were both G12 at that time. You would do Range Trooper, Dark Trooper. Once you kill the first Ewok, they will not take turns anymore. So right now you're leaving relic materials on the table every month by not already doing that. I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting that done ASAP. The other ones don't look too bad. Which tier is 5 for? You have the R7 tier. I am going to say again here, at 7.7 million, the R9 tier might not be a priority. The 7 tier is pretty solid, but I would consider the R9 tier maybe in the mid to late term, in the next like 6 to 8 months, personally. Currently building JML and Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Okay, so we have them. Finish your JML, finish your Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I see he's the Seer. Your Seer is good, perfect. So Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, JML are done. Finish farming for Bo-Katan. Let's check this out. Bobo, Ski Rotten. Did anyone play that game as a kid? The spades go, Bobo, Ski Rotten, Totten. 7 stars. Relic 7 doesn't have it. Gear doesn't have it. This doesn't tell me what level he's at. Keller and Beck. Did you not even have Gig 12 and Grogu unlocked? Paz Vizsla is. You've got a pretty decent amount of time to go before you have your Bo-Katan Mandalore. Let's check out your Inquisitors. Where the hell is he? There he is. You still have a decent amount of time here. Pretty close to this. Okay, so you're working on Rey. It seems like you have this whole short-term plan just like planned out right now. So you finished Executor, or you should have Executor fairly soon. Don't need Jar Jar. Let's see. It's always interesting when these messages are from like 2 weeks ago, and then you go, All right, so we're really just waiting for the Executor event to come back. And again, 5-star Executor, if you have P1, I would be working on that punishing one, definitely. Maybe even a refresh a day. But I'd get that Executor at least to 5 stars in the shorter term. I see you said Leia too. Man, you've got so much going on. You have all the shards farmed for Ahsoka. Okay, so all right. When you said shards farmed, I thought you meant something else. But it seems like we still have a little way to go here. Little way to go here. Not as much to go there. Do you have Ben? You must have bought a bunch of Lightspeed bundles. You have to have, right? So you have Rey. You just got Cat. I wouldn't worry about Cat right now. You don't have Ben Solo yet, which kind of sucks because it does fundamentally transform this Rey team. I don't know how close you are to Ben Solo because you don't have it isolated in your shards for important conquest characters down here, which is fine. I'm hoping that you have that going on in maybe the next like 3 to 4 to 5 months. I don't know if I would refresh for Ben, but I definitely would want to get him up and running once you do have him done. I would finish SLKR in the short term. While you're finishing SLKR in the short term, I would be doing my shard battles for Inquisitors and for my Bo-Katan, right? And I would not do more than 5 battles a day on like Paz and Ig 12. 5 Paz battles a day, 5 Ig 12 battles a day. 5 7 sister battles a day, because those are not going to be your limiting factors. Fifth brother, I think, is a cantina farm. I still would only do 5 or 6 battles a day, just because personally, from a psychological standpoint, I hate the idea of cutting off signal data. To me, that sucks. So when I know I don't need something right immediately, I instead more slowly go for it, and try to get those up. But I would be doing like 5 battles a day on all of those things while you're finishing SLKR. I would do that while you're finishing SLKR right now, while you're finishing JML right now, ready for the Executor event. Again, I'd bring that to 5 stars, and I would watch some Bit Dynasty videos to see if you can get yourself back in the top like 5. I believe Zavor said Profundity can be P1. It's not automatic, but look into it. That might be the cheaper way for you to do it. You should have that Executor. I definitely bring Executor to 5 stars. The thing is, you have all these GL coming up that it's really hard for me to say, go for this, go for that, go for that, because you have just so many projects that you're kind of close to, and it's like, well, of course you should go for those things. Right? Make sure you're doing your 5 battles on the Inquisitors. Make sure you're doing them on Paz Vizsla. And so here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what to farm and in what order to farm it, because what you have going on is what you should be farming. But what I want you to consider is that there should be 3 layers to how you're farming. And I think that that's something that not everybody understands, right? So everything you've isolated, work on it. But you have 3 layers to your farming. The first layer is what you're relicking, right? And right now, what you're relicking is what you're working on for SLKR, right? Probably even JML, even though JML does still need a little bit of gearing. What you're working on for Leia, right? Getting those relics to where they need to be. The second thing is what you're gearing. And what you're gearing is still, again, JML to some extent, your Leia characters, some of your Bo-Katan characters, and then your third layer is what you're shard farming. And what you're shard farming right now is your Inquisitors and those other 2 Bo-Katan requirements. If you farm that way, you'll almost never have to worry about shard farming. And you'll almost never have to refresh for shard farming until you get to like the end game. Because you'll be working on one thing, your relics, while you're gearing something, while you're slowly doing the shard farming. And then by the time you're worried about relicking those shard farms, they will be 7 stars. So for you, I think it is less about do this thing, do that thing, do that thing. You have it isolated. I don't hate your plan. I don't hate what you're working on. Work on those things. But it's just understanding, spreading it out so that you can limit your limiting factors in the future. I would love to see you get Ben Solo, depending on how close you are to him right now. But I think your 6-month to 8-month plan between finishing JML, between SLKR, between Executor, which I know is almost done, between Leia, between Bo-Katan, you got 6 months right there. You did ask about Leviathan, I believe. So let's see about where our Leviathan is. Let me just double check. Did we ask about Leviathan? Or is that the other guy? Gas team. I thought we asked about Leviathan. Was it this guy? Currently building. I feel like I need. Oh, okay. Fitting in Leviathan. Let's just see. Let's take a look, shall we? Ships. Mark 6. Still got some time. Sith fighter. We still got some time. Fury class, we got time. Malgus, don't have Malgus. So the reality is, when it comes to Leviathan, is you still have things like the Fury class and like Malgus that you need to work on. You have plenty of time. And your Sith ships you still need to work on. So I would say after all of those things you've isolated, that's your time to work on Leviathan, and it gives you time to build up shards from Conquest, from Proving Grounds. It gives you time to put a little bit of energy towards something like Sith Fighter, because Sith Fighter, I believe, is a Cantina farm. It gives you time to start doing, 5 battles a day on Mark 6 Interceptor as you start to like free up a little bit of energy and any of the other Sith ships. But I think you should focus on it as your priority after everything that you've already isolated as being things that you want to work on. So hopefully that gives you, what you need right now. What do you think about the Galactic Fleet Pack for 3,000 crystals? Let's see. Galactic Fleet Pack. Ba-da-da-da-da. Is that down here somewhere? Galactic Fleet Pack, where is it? It's probably shit, but where is it? Is it like in the journey somewhere, and you have to like go into the journey to find it? Because I do not see it. Oh, look at that. To me, I honestly, I have 8,000 prestige. I personally think that this is a hard pass. I just don't think you're getting enough out of this. That prestige for 3,000 crystals, that is a lot for 50 prestige. And ability omegas. I would personally stay clear of this pack. I obviously don't need it, right? I have so much of this shit, it's not funny, but I think the amount that it'll speed you up is not worth the 3,000 crystals that you'd be spending. All right, let's try to get one more in before I go to the movie, shall we? Discord corner, Fenway. Time is it? 2:25:00. Oh, look at that subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Sanctus. Oh, I got. Oh, man. Okay. Type of review, regular review. Top 20 of your Fleet Arena. 14 of 20 are Leviathan. So this is more of an Ender game account. Fleet Arena looks like almost all executors from that point down. I can get top 10 with Negotiator. Oh, my goodness. But it's very laborious and RNG dependent. Are you coordinating? Somewhat. The Discord is quiet, but I'm in good terms with them. Again, I will say this for the millionth time to people. Nobody talks in your Fleet Discord. Nobody in any Fleet Discord talks. That's okay. Where is my Fleet Discord? It's here. The last time somebody talked was in December. And it was like, hey, thank you, bro. Nobody talks. You don't need to talk in it. It's literally just a payout channel. So you know who to hit, who not to hit. That's it. That's all it is. Assault battles, all CT3 except below. I need to teach people how to use nesting bullet points, right? Nesting bullet points. You do like this, and then you go down, and then you do 2 spaces, and then you do it again. Love my nesting bullet points. Yeah, I get why it would be helpful to you, but I just think it's not as helpful as those 3,000 crystals are. Fanatical Devotion, CT2 with Tuskens. All right, so don't even worry about Fanatical Devotion. Once you have Riva, that's when you'll worry about CT3. Duel of the Fates, nothing. Not farming yet. Using Cantina elsewhere. Prettier Patrol, nothing. I played for years and stopped at 4.9 million for 3 years. Resumed 6 months ago. Been playing catch up, 7.5 million. Did Pass Plus on Conquest just to speed me up, but done with the passes now. In 6 months, that's definitely, there's some Lightspeed bundles in there too, so you're probably in a huge Zeta crunch. Since restarting, I've done Marauder for my Negotiator, got some abilities to climb, did Jabba and SLKR, did Bane, Malgus, Luthen, Starkiller, I don't know if Luthen was super important, but you did it. You're here, you're queer, get over it. Currently, Sea Journey 7-star, but no ult yet. Leviathan requirements about 75% done. Savage finishing to lift Treya. Mods unlocked a lot recently. Mod depth is super important. But you have Jabba now, so awesome. You can do Smuggler's Run too. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis gearing requirements for team. Need to lift JML. Look, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis does lift JML. But it really shouldn't be the reason why you get him. And it's just a pedantic thing. If you're getting him just to lift JML, there's better things you could be working on right now. But the guild you're probably in probably wants to do Zepho, and it is worth it for Zepho. Several PG characters at 7-star not geared. Maul, Malicos, Dark Ray. You got Dark Ray at 7 stars? Fucking awesome. Maul, Mandos is a fine B+ team. Where you are in the game, probably not super important unless you have Lord Vader. I doubt you do. Kind of similar with Malicos. It is a very Omicron heavy team. I don't know where the rest of your UFUs are yet. I haven't looked at your account. Dark Ray, I personally do think alters the SLKR team enough, and I've found so much use from getting her. So out of those three, I would maybe prioritize Dark Ray over the other two. GLs, Leia, JMK, very open to others. Quad May, Adrad, Dash, G-Mothers, you dead set. No. Highly efficiency. My favorites are the teams that help me win. I'm mostly done with significant PG for now. Open to other suggestions. So again, 7.5 million. I'd say like 7.8 now. It's been about 2.5 weeks. Let's see what this looks like. 7.7. Man, this climbing this way probably sucks. I'm sorry, man. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. We've got those three. Let's see where that GI team is. Inquisitors. Okay. I mean, I can imagine your guild probably is wanting you to get Reva ready. Let's see. I don't know my ABCs. 22. I would really maybe start prioritizing this team because it looks like you're getting a decent amount of Reva shards each month. Not a ton, but a decent amount. And once you have Reva, that team is just so fundamentally beautiful, and it completely alters. It completely alters the team composition. I love this. There's 4 people have asked me about that today. Austin, I got that 2-for-1, that BOGO relic pack. I try not to spend my own money on packs. I use this Amex gift card that I had sitting in my laptop case for the last 3 months since Christmas. I hate those, and I try to use them as quickly as possible, and that's what I spend fun money on. So I could see by the time you have Grand Inquisitor, you being at Reva or close to Reva with where your guild is at. So I'd strongly consider them a contender as an earlier game thing. I don't know why I'm still in your guild. There we go. Let's check out these UFUs. Yeah, I mean, you really haven't prioritized an UFU team, and it is a very heavy Omicron squad. Again, the Malicos squad is amazing. I have it. I love it. It's great. It destroys the new Ray squads that everybody's using. But it's only going to help you in GAC. And right now you're still in a part in the game where you're talking about what's going to help me in everything that I do. I want to check out your Seer, your Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis as a short-term goal is not a bad idea for Zepho. It'll help your JML, sure, but I think that the Zepho is more important for you right now. Where's your Supreme? Sith Eternal, right? Eternal. Okay, you're still building him up. I mean, I finish your Sith Eternal just because you have him, and it doesn't make sense not to finish him up. Want to see... Did we finish these guys? We have Malgus. Okay, good. Fury class. Good. Let's check out these tools. Our gear tracker. Rey, don't worry about her. Jedi Knight Master Kenobi, don't worry about. Grand Inquisitor, I'd really strongly start thinking about. You, honestly, man, you need GL ships. You need them bad. I would do Leviathan because you already have the hardest portions of Leviathan, and I would make this like your strongest priority right now, is getting to Leviathan, because it is an autoable battle with Scimitar, and it will be such a huge quality of life improvement for you, and you'll be able to get into the top 1 of your fleet without having to do a million battles and hating yourself. So I would strongly make that like your biggest priority. Now, in the last review, we talked about like what we're relicking versus what we're gearing versus, what we're shard farming. Right now, that's predominantly going to be Leviathan, because you still do have to gear Sortie, and you have to shard farm Sortie, and you have to relic Sortie. But gearing her and the amount of resources you will spend on shards for her, I wouldn't even refresh it. I would do 5 battles a day. What I would do is I'd see how many shards I have left, and I would compare that to the next event coming up. And I would see if you can get to the next event coming up only doing 1 refresh a day. If you can do it only doing 1 refresh a day, then do it. If you can't, then I would just slow farm the rest of Sortie. But that's not a lot of energy in a day. And while you're working on doing that, that is where I would put some of my energy towards Cal Kestis, right? And making sure that you're getting these guys up to get at Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. I think after that, I would prioritize Executor. I know it seems kind of silly, but the reality is you're going to want Leviathan at 7 stars pretty quickly. If you get Executor to 5 stars, you can then just let your Executor build free shards every month. But having those ships is going to help you in every foundation of this game, except Conquest, obviously. And it's the cheapest way to help your guild when it comes to like Rise of the Empire, or even like TW. And having multiple GL ships is just a great way to break into the higher levels of GAC. So I think I would spearhead Leviathan right now. While you're working on Cal Kestis, I would also be working on my Executor. Obviously, you need to finish Sith Eternal. The only one of your Conquest characters that I would like heavily prioritize at this moment is Dark Rey. And I only have 1 Omicron on her. I have the one that lets you avoid taunts, and she does exactly what I need her to do. That's when, because you have JML, because you have Jabba, that's when I would go for Leia. And then once you have Leia, I would go for Profundity. I am a very strong proponent of having all 3 GL ships. People who don't prioritize all of their fleets end up being left in the dust anytime there's a fleet meta break, because it takes so long to shift to the meta or to farm things. So I think that that's exactly how I would do things. I wouldn't worry too much about Paw Patrol right now. I will give you probably the same advice that I gave some of the other people that I've talked to. Your Master Qui-Gon's 5 stars. Your Padawan Obi-Wan is 4 stars. Get them both to 5 stars. Get them geared up enough that you can do tier 1 and tier 2. And then just let them ride to 7-star on their own. And that's when you bring them to Relic 5 or Relic 7, is when they hit when they hit 7 stars on their own. Or maybe you get so far in advance and you go, oh wow, now I have the gear to do them. But as much as you can avoid Cantina farming, you should avoid Cantina farming. So doubling up on the amount of shards that you get per month is a really wise choice for a lot of people. Right now, I would not prioritize Maul. I would not prioritize Malicos. Adrad you will do once you start going to Profundity. Quad May I wouldn't do until you're ready to do the Lover Boys. Dash, you know, it's an okay team. I honestly, personally don't use it that much. Great Mothers is a great team, but it is also one of those teams that when it had its Datacron, it was busted as fuck. And now it's just a good team. I don't know if I would prioritize it with where you currently are in the game. When you get Executor and when you get Profundity, like I said, I would just let them sit at 5 stars and let the refreshes do the work for you. But I would probably try to get Leviathan to 7-star as soon as you can, because a lot of Leviathan's strength is locked behind that 7-star. So hopefully you find that helpful. You know, there's not too much else for me to say here. It is it's almost 10:30. I do need to get myself ready to head out for the movies. Again, my wife and I are doing a dual movie day, so we are heading out in a little bit. I see somebody who I've never heard of currently on Twitch, so I think we're going to raid this guy and just say hi. Ooh, I hate hearing my own voice. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Pop in for this raid. Say hi to this guy who you've never heard of before. Maybe he's a good guy. I don't know. Hopefully he's a good guy. I should have Ahsoka unlocked in the next couple days, and don't forget to tag Phatphil on Discord and tell him he's a piece of shit, but in a funny way. We always want to do it in a funny way so he knows we're joking. Let's head out. We are starting our raid in 5 seconds. Yeah. Ba-da-da, ba-da-dee-dee. In 5 seconds. There's a bunch of people who left before the raid because they don't want to say hi, and that sucks for this guy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.